In this life I have seen, with the physical eyes of my body, that there is magic in this world. And I've heard science say we have ravaged our earth so badly that if today we ceased all pollution the world over, it would still be too late. The damage is done, the end inevitable, inexorable. Put your better nature to work with the two data. I haven't written a song since the accident, although I'm not worried about it. I can feel them percolating, and besides, it's not as if I really need another fucking song. I mean, I've written 1,000 songs in this life. More songs than I'll ever be able to record properly. My most hardcore fans will never hear all my songs. My attitude toward my songwriting the last few years has been, when a song comes knocking, wants me to write it, I don't answer. Sometimes it goes away. If it keeps knocking, I yell at it to piss off. Sometimes it does. If it continues to knock and I see that I'm going to get no peace, then I give in, open the door, and write the damn thing. Okay, so, 1001. The truth is, if I wanted to write songs, there are dozens, hundreds of them out there. Songs I've turned away in the past, songs that haven't come knocking yet, wandering like lost children. No, more like unborn souls, ideas wanting only a body of words to confine and define them. It's not songs I'm writing these days, since the accident. Instead, at the urging of some of my friends and family, I'm writing stories. A book, in fact, a book of short stories. I came up with the title some weeks before the accident. I just liked it, that's all. It said something, meant something. It was right. An Imperfect Man. Could have been an album, could have been a poem, a song. It didn't occur to me right then that it might be a book. I went off the road right around midnight, December 4th, 5th of last year, 2005. I was on my way home from a recording session up at my friend and producer's house a few clicks up Stewart Creek Road, a logging road just west of Christina Lake. I don't remember the last half of the recording session. I don't remember leaving the studio or getting into the Jeep. And I don't remember driving down the mountain. I do get a brief flash, a tree coming at me out of the night, and then nothing. No impact, no pain, no noise as would have been made by a Jeep Cherokee flying over a ravine, breaking off a tree 8 inches thick and slamming into 2 others. I don't know how I got out of the Jeep. I have some memory of climbing up the bank, trying to get back onto the road. This memory comes and goes, I suppose, as I went in and out of consciousness. It was minus 16 Celsius that night, just about as cold as the inside of the deep freeze where you keep your steaks. Maybe you know the feeling when you're having a dream that you don't like and you want to wake up, then know that you will wake up, and so you worry a little less. The dream doesn't seem quite so bad. That's the feeling I experienced the first time I came to. I had already somehow gotten myself out of the Jeep and crawled halfway up the bank. That's where I found myself waking up, only I was waking up still in the bad dream. Right then, I knew that reality was now and forever changed, and I accepted that. The next time I came to, I was still struggling for a handful of branches, trying to haul myself up that bank, swallowing blood, trying to keep from drowning in it, not realizing or thinking about how badly I was hurt. I tried to call out. I yelled as loud as I could, but what sounded in my throat was a strangled demand you wouldn't heard 20 feet away. Help, help me. My hands were wet with snow and blood, and the branches kept slipping from my grasp. I don't know how many times I passed out or for how long I labored in my ascent, but I do remember finally reaching up with my left hand and grabbing a big handful of branches, then wrapping them around my right hand as tightly as I could, and the only thought going through my mind now was, I'm not dying out here tonight. I clenched my fist around those branches and pulled, willing myself up through the shrubs and over the last few feet of that snowy bank. I guess I passed out again, because I don't remember actually getting up onto the road, but I did, and I got my legs under me, and I stood, and I walked down Stewart Creek Road 2 kilometers to the highway. I remember getting down to the highway and turning toward Christina Lake, intending to get myself to civilization and knock on a door. A logging truck or some kind of big rig came at me, and I think I waved or anyway tried to flag him down, but he flew on by, and I kept walking. I walked 1.5 kilometers along the highway before a car came from behind going my way, went past me, and then the 2 guys in it decided to turn around and see if I needed a ride. I was rescued. None of this is really what I started out to tell you tonight, and I'm not going to go into the 911 calls, the cops and paramedics, the nurses and the doctors, a 6-hour operation, 7 titanium plates in my face that'll be there forever, 3 weeks in the hospital, 6 weeks with my jaws wired shut, breathing through a plastic tube sticking out of my throat. What I wanted to tell you about was the songs. Go back to where I was passed out in the snow up on the mountain, up Stewart Creek Road, down in the ravine beside my Jeep at minus 16 Celsius. Now, I've been writing songs for a long many years, and most of those songs are on tape, at least in some rough way recorded. But some of them aren't, and as I lay up there in the snow unconscious, those unrecorded songs became once more wandering souls, lost ideas. They left my body as I might have if I had died that night, and they gathered back in around my heart every time I regained consciousness. Now the winter has passed. In 2 days it will be spring, and in the past week I've been driving my new used Jeep up Stewart Creek Road every day, right past the spot to the studio, where my producer and I have been putting the spit and shine on the new album. The first time I drove up there, last Monday, I stopped at the spot and looked it over, saw where I went off the road, where I flew, where I hit. My Jeep had long since been removed, towed out of there and sold for scrap, but I could see lots of debris down there, bits of signal light covers, small pieces of Jeep body, trash, unidentifiable scraps and shards of whatever all. I'd always kept my prescription shades in the vehicle, and I hadn't seen them since the accident. I wondered if I might find them in that rubble. I climbed down the bank, slipping and falling once, to where the Jeep had come to rest. I dug around, and I didn't find my shades, but see, I think a couple of lost songs found their way back to my heart. You've seen magic. I don't mean tricks, I mean the real thing, the stuff science can't explain. You've seen it, don't say you haven't. So tell someone. I want to record a simple album, songs from a midnight crash scene, and stick it in the sleeve of this book, this imperfect book.